In 1950, Enrico Fermi, the man who built the first nuclear reactor, was having lunch with some other scientists when the discussion turned to aliens. And he first articulated what's become known as the Fermi paradox by asking, "Where is everybody?" In other words, the universe has been around for some time and is a very big place. Human life has only existed for a fraction of that time, and only on one planet. Given the vastness of time and space, then, it seems more than likely that we're not the only intelligent beings in the universe. So why haven't we found any evidence of others? This question has led some to conclude that extraterrestrial intelligent life doesn't exist, and others to speculate, as in the long-running sci-fi show The X-Files, that aliens do exist, but that their existence is covered up by mysterious government agencies. Recently, The X-Files seems to have escaped into real life. Colonel Carl Nell, an esteemed military figure and aerospace executive at Army Futures Command, steps into the limelight amid escalating discourse on UFOs.
Non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing.
With bold claims about non-human intelligence, Nell's assertions at the SALT conference reignite global debates on extraterrestrial life. His distinguished career and compelling testimony before Congress position him as a central figure in the exploration of cosmic mysteries. Indeed, Colonel Carl Nell is a seasoned military officer with an impressive track record. According to his LinkedIn, he currently serves as an aerospace executive and senior military officer at Army Futures Command. Nell has over 25 years of progressive leadership in prestigious companies, such as Bell Telephone Laboratories, Lockheed Missiles and Space, and Ensco, Inc., under his belt. He also served as vice president and general manager in such top-tier companies. Nell has made notable contributions to the military domain. He played a key role in the most significant Army reorganization since 1973. During this time, he served as the modernization advisor to the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army at the Army Futures Command. His work included suggesting technical, programmatic, and funding measures to expedite high-priority Army acquisitions. He was also instrumental in advancing joint capabilities, forging partnerships with organizations like DARPA and the NRO. Nell's list of accolades do not end there. He also served as the Deputy COO and Director of Special Programs at the U.S. Africa Command. In this capacity, he managed operations for a 2,000 service member headquarters. He also held the role of Chief Strategy Officer at the U.S. Army Reserves. Nell gained popularity when he stepped in as a speaker at the prestigious SALT conference in New York City. At the time, he was filling in for David Grush, a former National Reconnaissance Office officer who turned whistleblower and gave Congress and the intelligence community inspector general extensive classified information about deeply covert programs that he says possess retrieved intact and partially intact craft of non-human origin. In Grush's absence, Nell managed to take the audience by storm with his bold claims about the existence of non-human intelligence and its interaction with humanity. Nell asserts that non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity for an extended period. This claim aligns with statements from other notable figures, such as former Canadian Defense Minister Paul Hellyer and former Israeli Space Force head Haim Eshed. According to Nell, these interactions are not merely recent occurrences, but have historical precedents, potentially spanning centuries or millennia. One of Nell's most provocative claims is that unelected government officials are aware of the existence of non-human intelligence.
This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing, and there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
This assertion suggests a level of secrecy within government institutions that bypasses traditional democratic oversight. Nell's warning about the dangers of keeping such information secret is stark. He believes it could lead to catastrophic consequences if another country discloses this information first. The implications here are significant, touching on issues of national security, global diplomacy, and public trust. Nell references testimonies from various high-ranking officials to bolster his claims. For instance, Haim Eshed, a respected figure in Israel's space program, has spoken about the existence of a galactic federation and alleged agreements between extraterrestrials and the U.S. government.
The unidentified flying objects have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet. There is an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand, in general, what space and spaceships are.
Eshed's statements suggest a structured and formal interaction between human and non-human entities, further corroborating Nell's assertions. But the concept of a galactic federation, introduced by Haim Eshed and echoed by Nell, raises intriguing questions about the nature of interstellar politics and treaties. For those who don't know, the notion of a galactic federation implies that humanity's interactions with extraterrestrial beings are not random, but rather governed by established protocols and agreements. Eshed's claims about agreements made between extraterrestrials and the U.S. indicate that these interactions are not unilateral. They involve negotiations, treaties, and perhaps even shared objectives. Such structured interactions imply a level of organization and governance that extends into space, challenging the notion that space is an unregulated frontier. The existence of treaties between humans and extraterrestrial beings suggests that there are mutual benefits to be gained from these interactions. These treaties could involve the exchange of technology, knowledge, or resources. For instance, claims by insiders like Bob Lazar about the government possessing intact alien spacecraft hint at the possibility of technology transfers that could significantly advance human capabilities. According to Bob Lazar's testimony, he was able to look inside the craft. Everything in the craft seemed to be fused together perfectly. He equates it to set wax. Nothing had a right angle. Bob Lazar is 5 feet 10 inches, and he claims that the craft seemed to be designed for something half of his height. He claims this craft is 3 levels. On the main level, there is nothing inside this craft other than small seats, the reactor he was working on, and subcomponents. 3 seats were situated in a circle around the reactor, equal distance apart, as well as rectangular objects, equal distance apart, surrounding the chairs, gravity amplifiers. There were also archways that would be able to turn transparent. Below is the bottom level, which had 3 gravity emitters that looked like large cylinders hanging on a pipe. He believes the top layer was a computer or a navigation system. He claims the spacecraft was around 52 feet in diameter. Lazar said that the government had 9 different spacecraft, all of different shapes and sizes. One of them appeared damaged, like something was shot through it. Lazar not only claims to have worked on an alien spacecraft and been inside an alien spacecraft, but he also claims he witnessed the government actually operating the spacecraft and flying it. He says that when he went outside, he saw the spacecraft ready to take off and noted that the person on the ground had contact with someone in the spacecraft. Lazar says that they were communicating with the person inside the craft on a regular VHF radio. Lazar believed that based on the studies he had done to date on the craft, that the radio frequency should not be able to penetrate the craft. It should bend around it because of the gravitational distortion surrounding the craft. He claims that standing under the craft, because of the gravitational distortion, it bends light and you cannot see the craft. He describes takeoff as a slight hissing noise and a bluish glow. As soon as the craft was slightly elevated from the ground, the hissing and the glow vanished. One more recent example, David Grush is a former intelligence official and United States Air Force officer. Grush testified in a congressional hearing in the U.S. House of Representatives in 2023 that several discussions he had during the course of his employment convinced him that the federal government of the United States of America has non-human spaceships and their dead pilots. Alongside the physical evidence, the government was running a secret UFO retrieval and reverse engineering program. Besides Grush, David Fravor, a retired Navy commander, and Ryan Graves, a Navy pilot, also testified at the same congressional hearing. And most recently, Colonel Carl Nell himself also touches on the potential technological exchanges and historical impacts of non-human intelligence interactions. Theories abound about ancient megaliths and pyramids, with some speculating that advanced technology from extraterrestrial sources may have played a role in their construction. This notion challenges conventional historical narratives and suggests a need for re-evaluating humanity's technological and cultural development. What's notable, Nell's stunning statement was corroborated by U.S. Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet.
My colleague, Carl Nell, said with 100% certainty that the world is being visited by higher-level, non-human intelligence. I know he is correct with complete certainty.
At that time, it is clear that we must pause and realize that the very fact that these high-ranking officials are even making such strange claims is notable in and of itself. What could possibly possess them to do such a thing? If it wasn't for the seriousness of the positions of all these individuals, then this would have been an easy topic to dismiss. But they are not. These are highly ranked professionals within some of the most serious institutions in the world. Why are they spouting fairy tales? Are they people obsessed with science fiction, or simply brave people who dare to speak out to expose the secrets that the government is trying to hide? What is your side? Don't forget to share yours with me by leaving me a comment. But before do that, please note that Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, once wrote that all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. And third, it is accepted as self-evident. After all, Colonel Carl Nell's revelations, supported by testimonies from other high-ranking officials, suggest a complex and potentially far-reaching interaction between humans and extraterrestrial beings. The secrecy surrounding these interactions raises critical questions about government transparency, national security, and global diplomacy. As we consider Nell's assertions, it is essential to approach the topic with both open-mindedness and critical scrutiny. The implications of extraterrestrial contact are profound, touching on every aspect of human society, from religion and philosophy to politics and technology. Whether Nell's claims are ultimately proven true or not, they serve as a catalyst for a deeper exploration of our place in the universe and the potential for interstellar relationships. In the end, the discourse around non-human intelligence invites us to expand our horizons and consider the broader cosmos in which we exist. It challenges us to rethink our history, question our assumptions, and prepare for a future where humanity might not be alone in the universe. The journey towards understanding these mysteries is just beginning, and it promises to be an exciting and transformative endeavor. Even present-day astronomers have likewise been probing this hunting, using sophisticated equipment to listen farther and peer deeper into the universe than ever before, to find evidence of our cosmic neighbors. From detecting unexplained radio signals to investigating the atmospheres and liquid water on distant worlds, scientists are searching for signs of extraterrestrial life. For decades, astronomers have found thousands of planets orbiting other stars, and there may be billions more worlds still to be discovered. Some may even have moons that can support life. That's a lot of potential alien real estate. Over the last 60 years, astronomers have scoured only a tiny bit of it for interstellar messages. The area searched so far is like a hot tub's worth of water out of all the world's oceans. Some people think we'd have a better chance of meeting aliens if we introduce ourselves. That is, beam our own messages into space. These messages could be written in mathematical patterns. Either way, math is thought to be a universal language. One such message was sent from the Arecibo telescope in Puerto Rico in 1974. But other scientists say this is a bad idea. We might not want to advertise our existence to unfriendly aliens. There may also be aliens that aren't able to send or read messages. Some planets may be home to simple, even microscopic life forms. To find those worlds, astronomers look for new worlds in the so-called habitable zone. This is the area around a star where a planet would be just warm enough to have liquid water. That's important because water is essential for all known life. One such planet may orbit the nearest star to our Sun, but a planet may not have to look just like Earth to be a good home for aliens. Some hardy creatures on our own planet thrive in seemingly unlivable conditions. Microbes at the seafloor bask in scalding water. Meanwhile, microbes nestled in Antarctic ice withstand freezing cold. Other critters slurp up toxic chemicals or bathe in acid. Learning about these extremophiles broadens our view of what places in the cosmos might be livable. So where have scientists looked for aliens? Here, we explore 32 of the strange places scientists have searched for aliens, or hope to in the future. Triton. Neptune's largest moon, Triton, is a strange place. Geysers erupt with nitrogen gas. There are organic materials, the building blocks for life, in its atmosphere, and scientists suspect that an ocean of liquid water lurks beneath its icy surface. Windows when Triton is close enough to Earth to launch a mission are limited, and the next opportunity will arise in 2025. In 2020, NASA was considering a mission to this moon as part of its Discovery program, but eventually selected 2 missions to Venus instead. Ceres. This tiny dwarf planet, around 1/20 the size of Pluto, is found in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. According to NASA, the planet has 2 of the most important ingredients for life: organic compounds and water. However, the atmosphere on this planet is thin and it's likely very cold. In 2018, students, with the support of scientists from the European Space Agency, proposed a mission to collect and return samples from this planet. However, no such a mission has yet been greenlit. Io, one of Jupiter's 95 moons, is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. Even though volcanoes erupt with magma, its surface is icy. These harsh conditions, combined with intense radiation from Jupiter, make it an unlikely habitat for life. That said, some scientists argue that water ice, and possibly liquid water, once existed on Io's surface, and that these materials could still exist underground, where heat from volcanic activity might encourage the formation of life. A mission to Io was proposed for 2029, but NASA passed the idea over in favor of its 2 upcoming Venus missions. Kalisto. The Galileo probe, which orbited Jupiter between 1995 and 2003, was the first mission to catch a glimpse of Kalisto, one of Jupiter's largest moons. Galileo found evidence that oceans of liquid water might exist underneath Kalisto's surface, and that this moon's thin atmosphere might harbor hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen, all important signs of habitability. The European Space Agency's Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, or JUICE, which launched in 2023 and is set to arrive at Jupiter in December 2031, will make 21 flybys of Kalisto and could settle the question of whether Kalisto indeed has a subsurface ocean. Ganymede. On its mission to explore Jupiter's moons, JUICE will perform 12 flybys of Ganymede, the solar system's largest moon. There is some evidence that Ganymede's icy surface, like Kalisto's, may hide a vast, salty ocean, potentially containing more water than all of Earth's oceans, lakes, and rivers combined. Using cameras, sensors, and radar, JUICE will determine whether this ocean exists, and could even detect molecules produced by life. Venus. The second planet from the Sun may have once been Earth-like, with a temperate climate and liquid water, according to NASA. Although a runaway greenhouse effect evaporated Venus's oceans over 1 billion years ago and high temperatures blast its surface, we can't rule out the possibility that life still exists there. Any possible remaining life would likely be microbial and airborne. Venus's atmosphere may also contain phosphine gas, which may be a sign of life. Launching later this decade, the Da Vinci Plus and Veritas missions will take samples of Venus's atmosphere and map its surface, hopefully answering questions about its past and present habitability. Enceladus. In 2017, on its way to Saturn, the Cassini spacecraft paid a visit to Enceladus, one of the planet's largest moons. According to Space.com, that mission discovered both liquid water, in the form of subsurface oceans, and organic molecules, both important ingredients for life. Titan. Saturn's largest moon is rich in organic materials, and according to NASA, it's an analog to early Earth. Like Earth, it has a nitrogen-based atmosphere, but unlike Earth, methane rain falls from the sky. Launching in 2026, NASA's Dragonfly mission will land on Titan in 2034 and collect samples from dozens of locations, potentially uncovering more concrete evidence of life. Europa. In the search for life beyond Earth, Europa, the fourth largest of Jupiter's moons, is one of the most promising places in our solar system. A huge saltwater ocean, containing twice as much water as Earth's, is believed to exist beneath the moon's surface and might contain organic material. Scientists believe that ocean currents constantly circulate that water, so microbial life, if it exists, could leave traces in the planet's icy surface. Launching in 2024, NASA's Europa Clipper, a solar-powered space probe, will make a low-altitude flyby to study the planet's surface and determine if such an ocean exists. Mars. Mars, like Venus, was once an Earth-like planet, with lakes, rivers, and warm climate. It might even still have reservoirs of liquid water a few kilometers beneath the surface. That makes it a strong candidate for remnants of life, likely microbial and below the planet's surface, if they exist at all. The Mars 2020 Perseverance rover, one of many missions to Mars, landed in Jezero crater in 2021 and is analyzing rock samples from the former lake bed and other sites for potential signs of life. HD 1167. Powerful technology like the James Webb Space Telescope has enabled scientists to search for habitable exoplanets, planets outside of our solar system. HD 1167, a star system hosting 6 planets smaller than Neptune, is one site of interest for scientists searching for extraterrestrial life. Recently, researchers aimed the Green Bank telescope at this planetary system to search for technosignatures, radio frequencies indicating the existence of technologically advanced civilizations. Their study, published in the journal Research Notes of the AAS, didn't find any evidence of life, but the scientists aren't ruling out the possibility. Kepler 38. Kepler 38, a planetary system with 2 stars orbiting one another, is just one of 5 multi-star systems that scientists identified as promising candidates for life in a 2021 study. Each of these star systems, located between 2,764 and 5,133 light-years away in the constellations Lyra, the Harp, and Cygnus, the Swan, is likely to contain worlds sitting within its permanent habitable zone, neither too close to nor too far from the parent star for liquid water to exist. TOI 715b. On TOI 716b, you'd celebrate New Year every 19 days. That's how frequently his super-Earth orbits its star, a red dwarf only 137 light-years away. Scientists in the UK discovered this planet in early 2024, identifying the rocky world as a potential candidate for life because it's right within the habitable or Goldilocks zone of its host star. Real-life Tatooine. Imagine watching not one, but 2 suns sink below the horizon in a strange double sunset, just like the fictional planet Tatooine depicted in Star Wars. That would be possible on planets like Kepler 16b. This exoplanet has a circumbinary orbit, meaning it circles 2 stars. While Kepler 16b exists outside its star system's habitable zone and is likely too cool for life, scientists have suggested that up to 60% of binary star systems could form planets with the necessary conditions to support life. Trappist I. Recently, the James Webb Space Telescope turned its mirrors towards a faraway star orbited by 7 Earth-sized worlds. Located 39 light-years away, the star system is visible in the Aquarius constellation. Most promising is the 4th planet from the star, dubbed Trappist I, Kepler 186f. If you visited this rocky exoplanet, the first thing you'd notice would be the colors. Because of the way light is reflected on Kepler 186f, any vegetation would appear red, purple, or black. First observed in 2014, this planet was the first Earth-sized planet discovered in the habitable zone of another star system, Kepler 22b. On this giant world, night and day each last half the year, with 145 days of total darkness and 145 days of constant sunlight. Still, life could be possible on Kepler 22b, according to NASA. This super-Earth, which has a radius 2.4 times that of our planet, likely is covered in an ocean of liquid water and sits at a balmy average surface temperature of 16 degrees Celsius. Kepler 452b. This ancient super-Earth is about 6 billion years old, much older than our planet. It's also 60% larger, according to NASA. Kepler 452b is located right in the habitable zone of a star similar to our Sun, GJ 486. According to Webb Space Telescope, this exoplanet whizzes around its host star so quickly that a year only lasts 1.5 Earth days. While the surface of the planet is a whopping 426 degrees C, likely too hot for life, the James Webb Space Telescope detected hints of water vapor, a potential sign that the planet has an atmosphere. K2-18b. This exoplanet, which exists 120 light-years away from us, is a vast, cold place. Its radius is more than twice that of Earth, and it's 8.6 times as massive. Its mantle is made of high-pressure ice, and its atmosphere is rich in hydrogen. Yet in a 2023 study published in the astrophysical journal Letters, scientists reported that using the James Webb Space Telescope, they detected organic molecules, the building blocks for life, in the planet's atmosphere. Terminator zones. What if, to transition from night into day, you had to travel halfway around the world? For many planets, that's the reality. These tidally locked planets have one side that constantly faces their host star. In a 2023 study published in the Astrophysics Journal, scientists proposed that life could exist in the terminator zones, the boundary between light and dark, of these seemingly inhospitable worlds. A dying star. In early 2023, a star in the galaxy Messier 101 was observed dying. Though it occurred 25 million light-years away, its demise was pretty hard to miss. It died in a violent explosion called a Type II supernova. That got scientists thinking, what if intelligent life knew that such an event would catch our attention? In a study published in the preprint database arXiv, scientists proposed searching the area around the supernova for star systems with potentially habitable planets in case alien civilizations live there and might be trying to send us a message. The center of our galaxy. Aliens at the core of our galaxy would be in a privileged position to catch our attention. They'd be able to reach a vast swath of space by fanning signals outward. That's why some scientists are turning their search for extraterrestrial life to the middle of the Milky Way. In a recent study published in the Astronomical Journal, scientists reported listening for any narrow-frequency pulses, which are used by humans in radar and stand out against background radio noise in space, coming from this region of our galaxy. Space junk. What if the debris floating around our planet wasn't rock, but remnants of alien technology? In a recent study published in the preprint journal arXiv, scientists argued that so-called interstellar interlopers, debris from distant star systems, could become trapped in Earth's orbit, and that included in such debris could be objects crafted by aliens. Our Sun. If an intelligent life form wanted to send us a message, they could hypothetically use our Sun as a node in a giant space internet. Because of the star's immense gravity, it bends light, which would allow it to act like a magnifying glass for signals sent across vast distances. In a study published in the Astronomical Journal, scientists reported scanning the sun for such radio signals, but came up short. Parallel universes. Okay, so there isn't really a way to search parallel universes, at least not yet. Still, scientists got pretty close when they ran a massive computer simulation to see what types of universes might be hospitable to life. They found that life might form even in universes that were dense with dark energy, the mysterious force driving the expansion of our universe, which previously wasn't thought likely. UA Mua. This oblong object catapulted in front of our sun in 2017, but it didn't originate in our solar system. That led one Harvard astrophysicist to argue that such an object was likely a remnant of alien technology. However, most of the scientific community disagrees, Live Science previously reported. When other scientists used the Murchison Wide Field Array Telescope to take a closer look, they found no evidence that the object was of artificial origin. LHS 1140b. One scientist called this planet the most exciting exoplanet of the decade. Located 40 light-years away, it orbits a star just 1/5 the size of our Sun and receives less than half the light that Earth receives. This planet isn't dense enough to be purely rocky, so researchers think it either has abundant liquid water or an atmosphere full of light elements. But it will take further measurements by the James Webb Space Telescope before we have more clarity, Space.com reported. Proxima Centauri b, located only 4.2 light-years away, Proxima B, as it's colloquially known, is the closest known exoplanet to Earth. This planet is likely tidally locked. That means that one of its sides constantly faces the sun, while one always faces away. So there is constant day on one side and constant night on the other. This planet is in the habitable zone of host star Proxima Centauri, so it's possible it has liquid water. But it's also possible that intense radiation has stripped away its atmosphere. Black holes. No, scientists don't think life could exist in a black hole. But intelligent civilizations might use the massive celestial bodies as limitless sources of energy. Scientists speculated in a 2021 study published in the journal Physical Review D. This method of harvesting power might leave traces outside the event horizon, beyond which the black hole's gravity is too strong for matter and energy to escape. It's even possible that those traces have already been observed, the scientists argued. Earth. To learn about life outside our solar system, we should look at ourselves. Scientists proposed at the 52nd Lunar and Planetary Science Conference in 2021. Observing Earth from the vantage point of another solar system could help us identify signatures of life, which we could then apply to our study of exoplanets. Messier 13. Somewhere out in space, a radio message sent by a team of scientists in 1974 is hurtling towards the star system Messier 13, also known as the Hercules Cluster. The scientists, who included Frank Drake and Carl Sagan, composed the famous Arecibo message in binary code. It depicts a human stick figure, a double helix DNA structure, a model of a carbon atom, and a diagram of a telescope. By the time the message reaches the star cluster, which is 25,000 light-years away, Messier 13 will have moved. But aliens might be able to detect the signal as it sails by. That's all the information that we have for you today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you never miss out on future episodes. And be sure to also tell us what you think about today's content. Everyone's support motivates us to continue delivering quality content and to always improve. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.